Welcome to the Roy Snarr Show, entrepreneurship and giving back. Now, here's your host, Roy Snarr.
This is why I never understood, like for those who, run a business, you're told to create a vision and a mission and core values that you live by. And I always thought those were insanely corny and didn't serve a purpose. This is my ego and naivety, I guess, as a younger business guy. Because it's you put them on your wall, you put them in your employee handbook, you put them in your thing that you give out to employees, you talk about them every once in a while. But I realized that the reason why you have to have a vision and a mission and core values is because if you don't, the business is all about you.
Right.
And what happens to the business and the reason why you can't scale, now I'm not big by any means. I have 320 employees, right?
That's still really good.
It's a decent sized business, but in comparison, it's not that big. But we started breaking down at kind of the Dunbar theory of 150 employees. We start breaking down and you're trying to get people to move and you're trying to get people to be motivated and you keep going 2 steps forward and 4 steps back. Mm-hmm. And I realized, hey, what's happening, Luke, is the breakdown is that these people, when you are trying to motivate them, when you're trying to push them and drive them, they're all being pushed based upon what you want to accomplish. We want to be a $100 million dollar company. We want to work with 70,000 businesses, all these things. And it becomes where they go, well, that's what you want. That's not what I want. And then, when you have a vision and a mission, right? So our vision is we want to empower entrepreneurs to live a life of freedom. A vision is where you see the world, right? Where we'll never probably achieve it, but the hope is, on Reminder Media's tombstone, if it ever passes away, it shows that, hey, we empowered entrepreneurs to live a life of freedom, and we moved entrepreneurs closer to that freedom for them in their life, right? How we do it tactically is your mission, and we do it tactically by helping you close more deals and retain more business because we're a marketing company. We're a sales and marketing company. That's where we focus every single day. Well, I realize when I hire people, now when I talk to people, now when I talk to my staff, it is all about that vision. How are we helping that single mom in Oklahoma who got into real estate or got into insurance and she's struggling to provide for her family, to survive in business, and she needs somebody to come in there to help provide freedom for her in her marketing, help her close more deals so she can send her kids to schools that she wants them to go to, go on the vacation she wants, that freedom in her life that she needs. That's what I'm now teaching and preaching to my team because now it's not about Luke. So now when you don't show up and make your dials, when you show up late to the meeting and I say, hey, we don't show up late here. Now when I tell people our core values or when I push people and drive people, it's not about me, it's about the vision. And when you join this organization, you join to accomplish this vision. So there's no conflict and tension about you just want to make more money. You just want to be a micromanager. You just want to drive me. No. I'm passionate about this vision and this mission. Yeah. And I've learned in leadership, and I am a terrible leader in so many ways. And I'm striving to be the leader that, you think of the greatest leaders of all time. They were willing to send troops into battle for a vision, for a mission, where they knew those troops were going to die. Yeah. You think D-Day. You think of what that stood for, and you think of what the greatest generation that ever lived and what they accomplished. And those leaders at the time were willing to sacrifice. And the people who were on for that mission, that vision, were willing to sacrifice at that level. And I think to myself, the greatest leaders, they're willing to give it all for the vision and the mission. And the moment you find yourself not wanting to give it all is the moment you need to remove yourself from the position of leadership in that company or whatever you're doing.
That's amazing. I mean, I actually watched Saving Private Ryan not too long ago.
I love that series, man.
And it makes you realize how good we actually have it, and that sometimes comfort is our worst enemy because then we become content.
I agree.
And same thing too, like being a leader in a particular space, it's challenging because you always want to express your own views, be yourself, but often you have to balance that too. Like, hey, you need to write more business. It's like, well, yeah, because you're going to make more, but that's why we're shifting as well and learning through this process where it's like, look, it's not just about me. This is what we're doing together as a culture. We're building a vision that's larger than ourselves. So this way, it's to your point there, it's like, hey, let's work really hard to accomplish this. So we just rescued a family in Pakistan, which is amazing. From trafficking on the Taliban, we rescued them. And it's like, this is what we're doing with some of the proceeds. So let's work hard and think of the impact of saving people's lives. There's no thank you card or anything. It doesn't matter though. But the point is that we can actually make a big difference in other people's lives. We've had agents we've spent lots of time on grooming, helping, and sometimes they don't do anything. We wasted our time. and then there's other opportunities where we help them, and then they've made hundreds of thousands of dollars, if not millions, throughout their career, and they changed their entire family's life, and they did that all through helping people because we made that an effort to go in there and work with them. So
I love that. I mean, I'm a marketer, right? So I can't help but think to help you in your I tell people it's like, partner with charities, give because it's actually the right thing to do. But the dividends that it pays from a marketing perspective is immense. Consumers want to do business with businesses of purpose, not businesses of profit.
That's a good
right.
one.
And so if you think about Nike and you think about Apple and you think about these major Fortune 500 companies, they always advertise and do marketing campaigns around charity. And there's a reason why. It's because they understand it endears you to that community. So I'll give you an example. My brother is a top 1% real estate agent in Virginia. And one of his greatest marketing campaigns that he does is he actually partners with the local food bank in the area because he's passionate about it. The Agape, I think it's Agape Love House or something like that. And he does a postcard that raises awareness for the Agape House in a food drive. And he sends it to his 4,000 person community that he farms, that he's the real estate agent kind of dominating in that space. And here's why it's amazing. He now is promoting something good, giving back to his community. He gets a touch point out to the 4,000 people that he's trying to be known, liked, and trusted by.
Sure.
But here's where it gets even better. Now he has a physical reason to go to their house and introduce himself and meet them. He goes and say, hey,
indirect approach.
Hey, Luke, I'm stopping by.
Genius.
I'm actually raising awareness for the Agape House. I just wanted to stop by, and I don't know if you got my card or not. If you had any canned goods you would want to donate, trying to give back to the community. Gets to introduce himself as a real estate agent. You shouldn't give and run marketing campaigns for charity just to promote your business. It's got to be the right reason. But the halo effect you get, and the halo effect basically states, when people see you doing something good, they associate that good with every other thing you do. So they see him giving back to the Agape House and how good that is. And wow, look at Stephen as a person and look at what he's doing. Yeah. And they associate that with his work in real estate.
That's
Man, he
awesome.
gives to people. And so I just want to tie that point together for people in marketing. And some people listening to it might go, well, you shouldn't give, for that. And I agree with you. You should give because it's the right thing to do.
Right.
But hey, who can help the most people? The person that can help the most who has the biggest cup full. Like you can't give from an empty cup. Yeah. Can Bill Gates help more people because of the income that he has, because of the success he's had in business? Absolutely. You should be insanely successful so you can be insanely successful in your giving.
Yeah, I mean, there's, if you look at it from a biblical perspective as well, it talks about that. Like there's, you're supposed to be rich and be able to help others that need that, right? And it's all about giving back. And to your point there, a lot of people say, oh, hey, well, you may be promoting this because it's awkward at first. Like we were still kind of leery about even promoting it because I didn't want the perception that people think, oh, the reason why they're promoting this is because they're trying to look good to get more business. But that's not the case. And if you come from a good place in the heart and say, hey, look, this is by the way that we're doing this. And, when you support us and you give us an opportunity to work with you, then yes, it directly makes us more money. It's common sense. And then we translate some of those profits back to these people that we're helping. Yeah. And you come from that good place and it makes a lot of sense because people they care about how much you care, not about how much you're going to be making or an award. That's why we don't showcase any of the awards we have in our office. Nobody knows about anything. It's all family pictures. And then we're going to start doing our more promotion of the charities like helping vets, helping rescue kids, all this in there.
Nice. I'm giving a talk at 8%. So I'm in town for this conference, right? And this is awesome how this has worked out that we can, be on the show. But one of the things that I'm going to share with people that I'll give to you is that, it's all about frequency in marketing. It's all about how much you're out there. Right. And the number one killer of businesses is they don't get out there enough. And I'm going to tie it to what you just said about your fear of showcasing to people how you give back to charity. Right. And I challenge people. I go, the reason why you don't post on social like you should be? The reason why you don't get your database together and market to them the way you should be? The reason why you don't maybe promote the charity that you're giving is because your goal is not big enough. Your why is not big enough. What do I mean by that? Well, one of the most powerful things I ever heard was your goal should be like oxygen.
Oh, wow.
Meaning, if you stop breathing right now, what would you do to start breathing again?
Anything.
Anything. Right. You wouldn't mind looking silly. You wouldn't mind screaming from the top of your lungs. You would do anything you could to start breathing again. Your goal has to be that way. to where you literally, your purpose of what you're doing to helping these girls who are trafficked, right? And stuff, that goal and that reason why has to be so big that you're willing to put yourself out there. You're willing, right? And it's the same for your business goals. You're willing to sacrifice. You're willing to not care about what the opinions of others state because you know what your purpose is and you know what you're trying to accomplish. And that's a really hard thing to do and to do well. But I would challenge you, like in your marketing, in your giving back, it's like you don't have a big enough goal if it's not waking you up in the morning to actually be willing to put yourself out there.